What's up guys, Julius here, and in this video I want to teach you a really simple breathing technique that could help you last longer during sex. Now, if you're like I was, and how 70 to 80% of guys out there are, you might be doing this wrong. So check this out. All right, so let's talk about a breathing technique that's going to help you gain a little bit more control while you're having sex. Now, before we talk about that, I want to preface this by saying that it's a lot of things happening in synergy together that help you have full control in the bedroom, right? So from a physiology standpoint, not only is it going to be about your breathing, but it's also going to be about your PC muscle, which I covered in a previous video and I'll link to below. You have to strengthen your PC muscle, and as you feel yourself escalating towards ejaculation and getting towards that level where you're gonna go over the edge, you have to start to relax your PC muscle. But in order to do that, you have to have a strong enough PC muscle. So I covered that in another video. So check that out if you haven't. Another big part of it is being able to relax your muscles. We don't really realize it, but unconsciously, the muscles in our butt, in our back, and our legs will tense up and will squeeze them, and they have to be able to tense up in order to ejaculate. When you actually keep your body fully relaxed, you'll find that it actually prevents you from ejaculating. So that's another key part of it. But another part is also your breathing as well. So we're gonna talk about what that looks like. Okay, so what do you think breathing looks like for most guys when they're having sex? Typically, it's usually fast-paced, very like, I like to say it's kind of like a panting dog, very shallow, very like, and we don't realize it because we're, in the moment. We're really not used to tuning into our physiology other than how awesome the sex is and all that stuff. But when we really take the time to do that, do the PC muscle relaxation and strengthening ahead of time, look into how our muscles are reacting as we escalate, but also tune into our breathing, we really realize that all those things are connected. So in terms of breathing, I'll show you a really cool technique that will really help relax your body, your physiology, and help you tune in. But first, in order to do that, let's talk about how you breathe in the first place. Because if you're like me, I was terrible from the beginning, and until I actually realized what I was doing wrong, I couldn't really gain full control. So what I want you to do is I want you to sit up completely, and I want you to put your right hand on your chest and your left hand on your stomach. Now indulge me for a minute and really try this. And what I want you to do is, as you're sitting up, I want you to take a big deep breath in through either your nose or your mouth, whatever is, however you would typically breathe. And I want you to just make note, what moves first, the hand on your chest or the hand on your stomach? Now take a moment and do that and really pay attention and see what happens for you. If you're like me and 70 to 80% of people out there, the hand that raises first is typically your chest, which means that you're a chest breather. But if you were to take a newborn baby and do that same test, you would see that all babies actually breathe from their diaphragm, from their stomach, because we're naturally born as belly breathers, which means we can really take a deep breath deep into our diaphragm, which is what we naturally, should be able to do. But with modern lifestyle, we sit around a lot and we live a lot more sedentary lifestyle. Myself, I know I sit probably entirely more than I probably should. And I knew right away after doing that test, like, oh wow, I completely just shallowly breathe right here in the top of my chest without actually pulling all the air all the way down into my diaphragm. And because we're usually sat forward or crunched all the time, it becomes an unconscious action to just get that little bit of air, just enough to survive, but not enough to really thrive, right? So what we want to be able to do is really pull air all the way into our stomach. And the reason I even mention that is oftentimes we need to tune into how we're breathing. Tantra teachers will teach belly breathing as a form of lasting longer, but the reality dictates that the reason that works is that it actually helps us open up our entire physiology, right? It relaxes the muscles of the body. It brings in more oxygen. If we're just breathing with the upper half of our lungs, we're not getting as much oxygen. We're not able to relax. And if we're not able to relax, we're not going to have the control that we need. So the first thing is to recognize where you default with your breathing. Do you breathe from your diaphragm or your chest? If you already breathe from your diaphragm, congratulations. And if you do not, that is something that you should practice while you're having sex, is tuning into your physiology and taking deeper breaths from your diaphragm and relaxing your physiology at the exact same time. Now that we tuned into how we breathe, now let's talk about a really easy to do exercise that you can do, a really easy technique, I should say, to do while you're having sex. Now, this technique has been called breathwalking. I heard about it from Tony Robbins, and what do you know? It actually really works to actually really relax your physiology. It really makes your mind tune into how your physiology is working, and you can do it without making it seem like you're doing anything strange. So while you're having sex and you feel yourself escalating and your own sensations escalating towards ejaculation, like I said before, tune in, relax your PC muscle, relax the muscles in your body, but then also add this breathing technique, which is 4 breaths in and 4 breaths out. It's very simple. I like to do 4 breaths in through my nose, so it'd be like, and so that's maybe a little bit exaggerated. I think that all of us can probably do that without making it so obvious that we're doing it. Your partner's not gonna notice that you're doing it, but when you're there in the moment with her, you can tune in and do that breath walking in and out. So it's and the first few times that you do it, maybe just sitting there, you might even feel a little bit lightheaded because you're getting so much oxygen deep into the deep part of your lungs. You want to make sure that you're opening up your diaphragm fully and pulling that air into using your belly to breathe deeply. And what that's going to do is, again, relax your body and give you more control. And just practice it a few times on your own. But again, implement that while you're having sex, and that's going to help you tune in, relax, not exaggerate the excitement to your own physiology, but also not exaggerate it to your own mind, because that's another part, is your state that you go into has such an influence on whether or not you're just losing control right away, or if you're able to get to that calm state of arousal and enjoy it and kind of hover in a high state of arousal without actually going over the edge. So I hope that helps. And I hope that you also take a look at that from the bigger picture standpoint of it's all the things working together with your physiology, your state, but also not going over the ejaculation edge and staggering your own arousal, which I call threshold control. And I made a really cool video that shows you exactly how to do it. Virtually every guy who's good at lasting a long time during sex does it. And you can get that video over on my blog at jasonjulius.com/control. It's really great. It's a technique you can start using immediately and tonight. So I hope you love this video. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button for more content coming up, and leave me a comment and let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next video.